No, I can turn it off though.
I'll put the kitchen.
Turn it off. Okay. Israel, Most High Christ bless somebody.
Most High Christ bless you too.
All right. So today's lesson is Psalms 37. Man. Okay, I need about 30 more seconds. So, well, Psalms 37 and what's up, Shalom? Psalms 37 and 1. It says, fret not thyself because of evildoers. What does it mean to fret?
To be discomforted and free.
No. To like to be, well,
Worry.
to weary, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, to weary. Worry not thyself because of evildoers. All right. In the way that we would be worried is like almost jealous. Almost jealous. Do we not understand that the way that the Most High sees the world and the way that we see the world is two different things? How does God see the world? He sees the world through the lens and eyesight of hatred. Yeah, hatred. So the ones that we go after is causing us to create a bullseye upon ourselves, because if we're gonna be bothered and worried and chase the world, the Most High is not gonna like that. I made a post earlier. It was earlier last night, maybe last night, about God being a jealous God. Do y'all remember that? Did y'all see that post? Right. Let's get that. Who remembers where it was? About the Lord being a jealous God. So the definition of fret, it says be constantly or visibly worried. Visually worried, that means if you can visually see somebody, that means that somebody can actually see you feeling how? Worried about what? Evildoers, wicked doers. Can't be with them. You can't deal with them. You can't rock with them. You can't roll with them. You can't ride with them. You can't talk to them. Things like that.
From 4:24.
No, actually, it's Nahum, the first chapter. That's what it says, fret not thyself against evildoers. So we can't worry about being with evildoers because the Most High sees them one way. And I know that, you might not see them that way, but that doesn't change how God sees them. So read that for me, bro. Nahum chapter 1 and verse 1.
The book of Nahum, chapter 1 and verse 1. The burden of Nineveh. The book of the vision of Nahum, the Elkoshite. God is jealous.
God is jealous. God is jealous. Do we not see this? Yeah. Most High is jealous. Who didn't know that the Most High gets jealous? But we don't understand the jealousy that the Lord has when we do certain things that he don't want you to do. The Most High is jealous. That's why you see the destruction upon people. That's why you see the judgment upon people. You ever seen a jealous man with his woman? A jealous man with his woman, what does he do? He'll kill the man and he'll butcher the woman because he has put his spirit. And that's how I understand adultery, man. And until y'all understand adultery and fornication, you're gonna continue to commit adultery and fornication. You gotta understand the law, and you gotta understand the damage that it does. Say, for instance, a man's got a woman, and they going through rough patches. Everybody go through rough patches. Every Israelite marriage on the earth goes through rough patches. Yeah, where there's a problem, there's an issue, there's a misunderstanding. You don't get along. You're not feeling it today. You're not feeling it for 2 days. It's typical. And you don't want to feel like, oh, I'm the person that's wicked. You don't feel like that. I'm the person that's wicked. Neither does he feel like he's the person that's wicked. You just feel like this ain't working right now. And sometimes it could get so bad that if a person get placed of Satan, then they'll be like, I'm ready to just throw this towel in. I can't hang with this, man. I can't keep going through this. I've been through it 1,000 times. I heard it 1,000,000 times. I can't keep going through this because they want it to stop. So in the event that somebody is weak enough not to recover themselves, or a man is not strong enough to humble himself to go back and recover the woman, because that's our job as a man. Go back and recover the woman regardless. There's a problem, there's a situation, there's a misunderstanding whatsoever. Teach. Go and recover her. Teach. Yeah, she went off and she said this and she was hurtful and she felt like that. All right. Teach. What did you do? So now let me correct you on what you did, so now you can and strengthen you and build you up, and then you can go and correct her on what she did. So I'm going to send you back to her. No, she gets away because in your pride, she gets away from you. You was mad at the beginning at first, but then what ended up happening? She go out and she fornicates, or she commits adultery against you. How do you feel? Oh boy, that dude in trespass. Here it is. You wouldn't put years into dealing with this woman. Some of us decades. That decade is 10 years. You put years into dealing with this woman, and then somebody comes along, the spirit of jealousy gonna come. You ain't gonna just let that go like you and lost, some money, or maybe they had robbed you with something, they had took something from you and stole something and got away. No. Remember, a woman is like a man's most prized possession. So I'm going through this long story to explain the jealousy of the father, so that you can understand why you see people get put to death. But he compares it unto the relationship of a man and his woman. So this man bought this woman, took care of her, fed her, buy her clothes, keep her happy, put up with her stuff, then turn around and hug her, and they kindle back together. And that's his most, the most vulnerable and weakest point of a man is the woman. I've seen some warriors, I've seen some strong men, they can drive a force, but they come to the woman, they weak. Zerubbabel spoke about that how strong the woman was, and how he saw Pammy deal with the king. The king was the first king, but Pammy, she smote him, then took the crown off his head and put it on her head, and he would laugh with fame to bring her back into again so that she could smile again. Woman is power. So you go through all that with a woman, and then a woman, she puts, she leaves you. Some men would be so devastating that they would butcher you. When you read the book of Judges 19, relax. Judges 19, the guy, his woman played the harlot, he butchered that woman up. He cut her into 12 pieces and sent her into all the coast of Israel. So men could go psychotic. So now let's talk about your God. When the Bible says that God is jealous, that's how the Lord is. You don't see the jealousy. Just like the woman, she don't see the jealousy that she gonna get butchered up tonight. You got some XO in a little plastic cup, and you got Romeo. Romeo must die. That's what that's what your man is saying when I catch him. When I catch you and Romeo, I got something for y'all. You're gonna die today, and I'm gonna get you too. But all jokes aside, Nahum chapter 1 and 2, it says jealous. God is jealous. Go ahead.
And the Lord revengeth.
And the Lord revengeth. It's going to tell you why he revengeth. So this is what you see when you see people with bullet holes in them. You see people in car accidents. Sometimes the car is crunched so bad that you like the person, they got to die. I was riding with somebody the other day and I saw a car. It was crunched like it was a little Pinto or something. Or y'all don't know about the Pinto. That's too old. But the Beetle, full-size car crushed down to the Beetle size. The trunk was right behind the back seat. I was like, that person had to die. It was folded up. The Lord said he revenges it. People get shot up. You see them people stretched out, popped up in the street. The Lord revenge it. Go ahead.
And is furious.
And is what? And is furious. You see? So isn't that an act of fury for a man to butcher up a woman and mow a man down in cold blood? Because that's how God feels about us when we deal with the world. So you turn and man, you go into the world, fiery indignation. We read that last week on the Sabbath. Nothing but a fearful looking for of judgment. And you don't understand. A lot of don't understand that. A lot of people test the water with the Most High. Oh, I'm going to see. All right, you're gonna see. You're gonna find out too. You're gonna find out a way that you don't even like. It's gonna be so cold and served with ice that you won't like it. It's gonna be full strength. He revenged. He's furious. Go ahead.
The Lord will take vengeance on his adversary.
He will take vengeance on his adversary. The adversary is a person that opposes him. If you turn yourself into an opposition by transgressing the laws of the Most High through hatred for the laws of the Most High, you have now tried to be an opponent. How are you going to be an opponent to a force that created you? A force that created you actually from dust. Yeah. If your body just laid there on the ground, it would just decay and drop. It would dry up. And as the wind blow on it, over periods of time, it would just decay. And it'll go right back to the dust. Mm-hmm. If nothing even ate the flesh off of it, the bugs, nothing ever touched it. It'll take time because you constructed and you're supposed to be built to last for eternity. It's the spirit and the duration of the organs that the Most High be putting the clock on. Why? Because of transgression of the laws. If you break the laws, you speed that clock up. Let's see. Psalms. Hold this. What's that one we always use about the youth? You know what I'm talking about? About rejoicing?
Ecclesiastes, yeah.
Ecclesiastes. All right. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, or verse 12 it is I want. Is that it? Ecclesiastes, no. Be still. Ecclesiastes chapter 11 and verse 12 it is. I'm sorry, Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 1. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1.
All right.
Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not.
Right. Go ahead.
Nor the years draw not.
Wait, huh?
When thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
Right. So the Lord can come back and begin to take revenge upon you or upon his people for breaking the laws, and you will be hating your life. Remember your creator in the days of your youth, because what's happening in the youth? In the youth, people are telling you what to do and what not to do. And they telling you, oh, you're going to learn the hard way. Oh, this is that. They're giving you all type of warnings. But we grow a foreskin over our heart. That's like a scab over a wound. You grow something that covers up your ears to keep you from hearing. You can't do that. It says, while the evil days is not even coming for you. So you got to remember. Then it says, nor the years draw nigh. You see where it says the years coming close unto you? That means you begin to finish your days, you're getting older and you're getting older. When thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Because a lot of people, they get older and they can't enjoy their life like they did when they were in youth. Why? Because of affliction. The Most High come back, and instead of you being of age and you can get down and you can have a good time and you can enjoy your life and etc., the Most High is afflicting you. The Most High he got you stretched out. He got you set down. You will hate yourself. And it was because of the things that you was doing while you were young. He don't let you go. You think that, oh, I'm getting away with it. You're not getting away with it. He gonna bring judgment. He's just a spirit that is long suffering and patient. It says he will in no case let you go. He's not quick like us. Like you do something and we get mad and angry real fast and we want to jump down on you to let you know how terrible it is. Not the Most High. The Most High, he'll use words to correct you and he'll use us, and then he'll turn around and say, okay, I know what to do. I'm going to get you. And then he can come back and get you when you're 60 and you need it, or when you're 40 and you need them, when you're 35 and you need them. Because in your youth, you turned yourself into an adversary. We got to be, why? Fretting evildoers, jealous of them, worrying yourself. I ain't going to get a chance to be like them. The people in this world has truly turned away from the Most High. Their morals are gone. Now, I'm not speaking evil of them, but I have to speak on it so that we can understand. This is how they have turned away from the Most High. They don't want to have nothing to do with the Most High. And to deceive you and to trick you, they'll say things like, I believe in God. Yes, I do. That's only to deceive you, so that they could use you for whatever purpose they want to use you for. They could use you for a ride to work. They'll use you for companionship. I can remember once in high school, there was a guy that, he wasn't even a friend in high school, but I saw him, but he was always friendly. And he's a politician now. When I say politician, he right there with Edom, the suits and everything. And he ended up, working out at the gym, and he was so excited to see because we went to high school together. And if you know me, I'm the same everywhere. I'm like, yeah, huh? Okay, yeah, huh? So he's like, well, what's up, man? What's up? It's like, hey, Tuesday, Thursday, brother, and Saturday. What you saying, brother? Like, so you don't understand, bro. We Israel, man. This is temporary, man. This right here, I'm just up in here to build this bicep, and then I'm going back. You know, and I started spitting this truth to him. He said, "So what you saying?" He flat out asked, "So what you saying?" He said, "He's saying that, brother, if I don't change and come to the school, we can't be friends." I said, "Right." He flat out asked, so I flat out told him. His name's Joe. Good, cool dude. Harmless, generous as tough. But he asked a direct question. I said, "Right." He just laughed and chuckled and shook his head. But that's the truth. What fellowship have light with darkness? It's just like that. So any one of us, if we choose and make the wrong decision, you're gonna turn yourself into, like I'll give you something you can understand where it says like the enemy of the state. We all saw that movie, right? Mm-hmm. How many people was after them? You think that the Lord got a goon squad? Most I got a goon squad. That's why sometimes every place you go, something bad can happen. He said spirits were created. He created them spirits. Evil people, he did that. They're the Most High's goons. Hitmen. That were hitmen in the Bible. All they did was kill. They see something fall, boom. They fall upon men and going on about their business. True story. What is it?
I be one of my friends I used to know to be in to believe because I be seeing opening.
You see what they want you to see. They show you something. This calling was chosen before the world even began. It's a lineage, it's a bloodline. Like you got a tree and you got one branch with a whole lot of leaves on it. And that's the only thing that's important compared to all the other branches and all those other leaves and all of that. It's just that one branch. That one branch is a select people that the Most High said the whole tree could be Israel. It's just that one branch. You're the branches. It's like that. So those of you that's sitting here, you have a special call. You have a high calling. I be teaching all of this stuff in the classes. You have a very high calling. You've been elected out of all the people that are upon the face of the earth. Don't let this little rags on your head and your wore out shoes and your jeans and stuff with the knees blown out. Don't let that fool you. Y'all are highly favored, peculiar people. And don't see it and don't understand it because you keep looking in the world, man. You keep fretting yourself, wondering, am I going to miss out? What you will miss out on is the call, is the mark. You will miss out on what you're supposed to be doing. If the mark meaning I'm supposed to hit a quota, I'm supposed to target, I'm supposed to hit a mark, I'm supposed to fulfill a destiny, you miss it. Because you took your eye off. Turn aside to vain, worthless, jangling, meaning having fun. This is that and the third. The best place to start is a child. Because a child, you start off with a clean slate. Boy, somebody could really do it. You could really do the doggone thing. And you could turn out to be unique, special, have good qualities, be an example. Right, VJ? It's a lot that could be done as a child. Children ain't been getting high off of homosexuality, eating an unclean diet, went into idolatry. You can let us teach that. And you can be the poster child. You could be the example of what the Most High is saying. And you can still understand why not to do it. And you can still understand the scriptures. And you can still understand a lot, even by not doing it, because the Lord can give you the spirit to understand it and see that it's wrong and say, guess what? I made a different choice. But a lot of children, they fight against that. But we got to fight against them because we know what's right. The scriptures is right. But as an adult, there's no way that we ourselves should lose control over our mentality and our emotions and desires for the flesh to the point to where we bothered and troubled because of things that are in this world. You can't let that stuff break you down. All right. So, because there's a judgment that comes forward. So now, going back to Psalms chapter 37, or Nahum chapter 1 and verse 2 again.
This is the book of Nahum, chapter 1 and verse 2. God is jealous, and the Lord revengeth, and is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies.
Right. So do we remember? We understand what I'm quoting in James 4 about the enemies. Go to James 4. Okay. Now remember, the Lord is jealous and he reserved wrath for his enemies. So the book of James, chapter 4. Go to the point. You can start if you know where I'm going. Skip all the drama for the mama.
This is James chapter
Go straight to the
4
point.
and verse 4, last precept.
Yes, James. Oh, you can read the whole 4.
This is James chapter 4 and 4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses.
So what is he comparing us to? Remember the example that I used? I said, I'm taking all this time to explain to you the example of a man or a woman that's been unfaithful to each other. The woman has been unfaithful, or the man, because women, some killer women too. She's like, I'm gonna cut you, I'm gonna snip you up, I'm gonna cut you off, I'm gonna shank you. All right, you adulterers and adulteresses. So that's how God is looking at Israel. Like you committed adultery with him, and he be jealous, like a jealous spouse. Go ahead.
Know ye not?
Don't you know? Go ahead.
That the friendship of the world.
Stop. That you being friends with people that's in the world, that's in the street. Go ahead.
Is enmity.
Is enmity. What is enmity? I'll get the definition for you. Is enmity. Okay. Enmity, the state or feeling of being actively opposed. I told you. Turn yourself into a what?
Opposition.
An opposition. You somebody that opposes the Lord, an opponent, or hostile to something or someone. So, don't you know that the friendship of the world, it's not, remember, it ain't talking about, oh, I like the rain. There's nothing wrong with liking rain. I like the rain. You know, I like to swim in the lake. I like to hunt. I like nature. I like the weather. Everybody likes good weather. It's not talking about that. You know what it's talking about? It's talking about the ones that they themselves, they hate the Most High. You can tell a person that hates the Most High because they don't do what he say. So when you go out and you be with them and you jealous with them, or you fret yourself, you worry yourself because of you can't be with them, the restrictions of the scriptures, etc., guess what? It's not just children, it's adults too. It's adults too. It's adults too. It says the state of feeling of being actively opposed or hostile. It says friendship with the world is hostile with God. So you bring it in hostility. Go ahead.
Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world.
Will be the friend of the world. Will be a friend. You're right. Whosoever therefore will be a friend A friend, go ahead.
Of the world
Go ahead.
is the enemy of God.
So if you're the enemy of the Lord, when you go back, the Most High in Nahum, the Most High said he is jealous, and you have become an enemy. So he's jealous because of what? Because our friendship with the world. Read verse 3. Nahum chapter 1, verse 3.
This is Nahum chapter 1 and 3. The Lord is slow to anger.
Right. The Lord is slow to anger. What do you think that means? The Lord is, I said it earlier.
That he ain't gonna judge you right then and there.
That's right. Yeah. He don't have to show it right then and there. He can display patience. Therefore, doing what? If the Lord displays patience, what does that do for us? If the Lord displays patience, what does that do for us?
Give us time to repent.
I don't want to say that.
Give us rope to hang ourselves.
Okay. That's a lot better. Yes, that's a lot better. Yeah. So spinning off of that, what else?
He allowing you to find. He watching your ways and watching you continue on the path that's not working. So he have a reason when he do judge you. He justified.
Yeah.
Word.
What do you say?
Word.
Word, the Lord is worried?
Not us to give us time
He give us time to
to
worry.
worry about the punishment that's gonna come later down the road.
Here's the thing. You don't care. When the spirit get on you, you don't care about the punishment because you don't even, most of the time you don't think it's coming. And most of the time you don't think it's going to be that bad. And most of the time you think that the people that are warning you is just speaking from emotion, not understanding that it's God warning you through that spirit of that person. Okay. The Lord is slow to anger. It's a word that I'm using. And I said, what does that do to us? Someone said it gives us rope to hang ourselves. Yeah, but it's something else. Something very important. It deceives us. Yeah, it deceives us into thinking that it's not that bad. And let me turn evil into good. Let me call evil good. Let me call what I'm doing okay. Because the Lord is slow to anger, we deceive ourselves. The Bible says, be not deceived. We actually deceive ourselves. And when you deceive yourself, you go further and further into that sin, transgression that law of the Most High, and the Most High wrath. It just is continue to be kindled and kindled and kindled, meaning enraged and enraged and enraged to where wrath is gonna come forth. But you never see that wrath. You don't see that wrath yet. Why? Remember, the bewitching of naughtiness, wickedness it has the ability to cast spells. People have the ability to cast spells. So you'll be under spell. The ones that are dealing with you are spelling you, man. They got what witchcraft is. Although they don't have to give you like something to drink and then you bugged out, they come with spirits. People have the ability to possess a lot of spirits. And one of them spirits can jump on you. All you got to do is be the center that's interested. All you got to do is be willing to yield yourself. And once you yield yourself, now the spirit that's on them, what? It jumps on you. And that's why you interested in what they're doing, and you would even be like kind of protective, and, and so on and so forth. So it's a confusing thing that a lot of people do not understand. How did I get here? Because you got bewitched. How did I get here? How did it get so bad? Or you might look at somebody else. How did they get that way? How did they get so bad? You understand? Evil spirits. All right. Let's bring out this. Let's deal with the spirits to show you. I think it's Matthew 12. I'm trying to multitask behind this thing like I'm dealing with a mixer. All right, the book of Matthew, chapter 12, and verse 43.
This is Matthew 12 and 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. Then he said, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits, more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first.
All right. So what you got to understand is spirits don't travel alone. In Matthew 12 and 45, you see 7 spirits, or actually 8 spirits together. So if a person has spirits on them, it's a possibility that they can have even more spirits than 8. They can have thousands of them. All right, let me get that one. Where's that one?
Say more 5.
And all you need is one of them. Now you going off. Yes. The book of Mark, chapter 5, and verse 1.
This is Mark chapter 5 and 1. And they came over unto the other side of the sea, into the country of the Gadarenes. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among tombs, and no man could bind him, no, not with chains, because that he had been often bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had been plucked asunder by him, and the fetters broken in pieces. Neither could any man tame him. And always night and day he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones. But when he saw Yahushua afar off, he ran and worshipped him, and cried with a loud voice, and said, What have I to do with thee, Yahushua, thou Son of the Most High God? I adjure thee by God that thou torment me not.
So the spirit recognized the Lord. Said, what do I got to do with you? What are you doing? What? Because I heard what you be saying. You know, what do I have to do with you? I don't mess with you. Don't mess with me. All right. And a lot of people feel like that. When you feel like you want to be left alone, you got this spirit here. What do I have to do with you? What are you doing with me? I got nothing to do with you. I don't want to have anything to do with you. That's what this is saying. I don't want to have anything to do with you. Leave me alone. And you got this spirit. Okay, it gets deeper though. Remember, this is how we see it, but the Lord going to show you how it really is. How we see it is verse 2. When he came out of the ship, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit. That's what we see. We say, oh, that person is off. That person. And then you see one thing about that person. Go back to where you were.
Verse 8.
Verse 8.
For he said unto him, Come out of the man.
Come out of that man. Go ahead.
Thou unclean spirit.
Thou unclean spirit. Go ahead.
And he asked him, What is thy name?
What is thy name? So Yahushua asked, What is your name? Let's see who talks. Go ahead.
And he answered, saying, My name is Legion.
My name is Legion. Go ahead.
For we are many.
For we are many. That's right. What do you think he's saying? Inside of me, there's a lot of us. Yes. So he has all these spirits inside of him trying to control them, trying to control that one body, because spirits need bodies to possess. So this is what's up with the world. So when you go and you fellowship with people in the world, one of these spirits is going to bewitch you. Let me in. Yeah, he's gonna let him in. Let's touch. Let's smoke. Let's rob. Let's steal. Let's kill. Let's lie. Let's jack this car. Let's do them people great harm. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Let's not care about anybody. Spirits be like that. Let's not care about anybody. You never see. This is the information. Listen, this is the information that the world is not getting. Pay attention. This is the information that the world is not getting, and the world don't even know why they act like they act. So you know what they do? They do nothing. They medicate. They do drugs to calm down. They say, oh, I just need to calm down. Or they drink. Read the next verse.
Verse 10.
So we at St. Mark chapter 5, verse 10.
And he besought him much that he would not send them away out of the country.
So now the spirits are begging the Lord because they know that he has power. Why not? Why don't send us away out of the country? You ever tried to get somebody to leave somebody that they care about? To leave an area. Let's see, they say, no, I can't go here because X, Y, and Z. You're reading it in the Bible. This is no Twister show. You're reading it. Why would not, listen, the spirits that are many is inside of one man. And the spirits that are many that's inside of one man is pleading on the behalf of the spirits that's inside of that one man saying, don't evict us out of the country. Why? Do you think they enjoy the rain, the sun, the grass, the wind, the fruit trees? No, they enjoy chaos. They enjoy people because there are a lot of people that's around them. There are a lot of people that's around there that enjoy those spirits. And those spirits can bounce from person to person to person to person. We just read in the other scriptures in Matthew 12 how they can leave one person and go to the next person. They say, oh, this one right here, let's get inside of him. And that's why some of y'all be bouncing off and on with good behavior, bad behavior, good behavior, bad behavior, because the word that God warned you about, you're not paying attention to these scriptures. You're paying attention to the world. You straight frightened the world. You worried like you're going to miss out on something. You're not going to miss out on anything. The world is set. Those people were made to run its course. You were made to run your course. You got to get that through your mind. You are different from them, even though y'all the same people. You were made to come here to help people. You are created mentally and spiritually different. But you don't have to go around exalting, I'm better than you, I'm better than you, I'm better. Show you better. Behave like you better. Make a better choice. Make a better decision. But right now, giving place to spirits, that's not better. That's showing that you got spirits. That's what they're showing. You got spirits. And the thing is, like there are many, legion in that one. You, legion, many, you will have many spirits. Our objective is to get rid of those spirits and demons. How? Through the word of the Lord. Correction, cleansing, repenting, forsaking it, and fellowshipping, and sticking with it over and over and over. Over and over and over. You got to seek the Most High 10 times, man. You got to beg to be in this truth. God ain't begging you. You got to plead the Most High. You got to work hard to be in this truth. You got to fight the fight. If you know that there are wickedness and evil spirits and people and this is that and the third, you got to be like, let me not go that way. You got to do everything that you possibly can to avoid getting. You see how people are trying to avoid getting infected? They stay in the house, they cover with a mask, they got gloves on. They looking through the door. They ain't letting nobody in. No, you can't come in. Don't go out. If you go out, you can't come back in. They're trying everything possibly not to get infected. What are you trying to do not to get in possession with an evil spirit? Because all you got to do is give heed to it. Once you give heed to it, now it's inside of you. Now you doing whatever that spirit is. And you're going to serve that spirit. Because once that spirit get inside of you, it's on. Go to Romans, and we're going to finish this. The book of Romans, chapter 6, and verse 16. Read that.
This is Romans chapter 6 and verse 16. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey?
So stop right there. Don't you know? That's what know ye not means. It means don't you know? When you yield, that means, hey, let me see what you talking about. Know you not that to whom you yield yourself, if you yield yourself to a person with spirits, read his servants, what you think happened? Once you yield yourself to somebody with spirits, now you're serving the demons that's on that person. Read it.
His servants ye are.
His servants you are. You're not serving the Most High no more. This is not a twisted show. It's right there, right in front of you. What you gonna do with this? Wait a second. What are you gonna do with this knowledge, with this information? Are you mean to tell me you still gonna yield yourself and fract yourself with evildoers? You still gonna lean your eye? Say, for instance, you a woman. You still gonna lean in your ear to the man. And you know that it's forbidden for there should be no whores of the daughters of Israel. You know you can't be a whore. You know it's only marriage. Anything else is wickedness. Proving a friend consists of getting to know that person as a brother first. You don't go out and meet somebody, oh, this is going to be my husband, and this, you got seduced, you got bewitched, you got possessed, and now you in trouble. Because when spirits come in, they don't come in one, two, they come in by a multitude, and they don't like to leave. And it takes the Lord to get them up off of you, which you happen to hate. That's why you didn't listen. So how you going to get them up off of you then? What are we reading? The Bible. You're going to end up a creek without a paddle. That means you go wherever that course takes you. The flow of the river, the force of the river, it takes you. You have no control over that canoe. So you up a creek without a paddle, man. You can't even get, the bank might be 50 feet to the right. You can't get over there because you cannot steer it. You can't jump out because you're going to drown. You have no choice but to wait to crash. But you ain't going to crash. You're going to flow further. It's washing you further out into the sea. You messed up. That's how life gets away once you yield yourself servants. Read it again for them.
This is Romans 6 and 16. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are, to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death.
Whether of sin. See, so if you yield yourself unto sin, what's going to happen? Death. You're going to die. The spirit's going to mislead you unto death. Go ahead.
Or obedience.
So you can yield yourself unto obedience. How do you yield yourself unto obedience? By listening to other people that obey the word of the Lord. Go ahead.
Unto righteousness.
Unto righteousness. That means now you are a righteous person. Now you're doing righteousness. Because you were instructed to do righteousness. You yield yourself unto righteousness. Now, instead of demons and evil spirits, you have one spirit, and now you begin to experience the fruit that comes, that's associated with that one spirit. It's called the fruit of the spirit. Now you start producing fruit that pertaining to that one spirit. Not many spirits that get you in all different type of trouble. You doing all these different things. Okay? Who don't understand this. Thank you. Because it's easy to be understood if we follow along and if we listen. Because you're all here trying to do what? Deliver yourself and save yourself so that you don't fall. You don't want to put this on anybody and say, oh, well, you got spirits. You got spirits. I don't want to do that. But what we do want to do is inform one another to avoid that type of contact, because you will get infected. You will get possessed according to these scriptures. And the world ain't teaching you that. And we wonder why this city so bad? God changed. Pray for the city. The Lord do want you to change. But in order to change, you got to do something about it. So let's see if we needed the next one. We don't need it. We might come back to it. The Spirit might bring us back. So let's go back to Mark chapter 5. With the book of Mark chapter 5. You had a question?
Yes.
Okay. And verse 10 again, he says, and he besought him much that he would not send them away out of the country. I'm asking us to use our common sense. Why don't a person want to leave? Because they enjoy where they at, right? So these spirits, they didn't want to leave this countryside because they enjoy. They say, oh, people around here accept us. Well, you say they're stupid. Well, let's not call them stupid. But what about simple? Simple. What does simple mean? Easy. These people are easy to get. These people are the lick. We can bewitch them. We can undermine them. Yeah, we can trick them. That's what undermine means. We can trick them. We could get them, and they don't even what? Know it. We could get them, and they don't even know it. Let's stay here. Let us stay here. Let us stay here. They won't even know it. Lord, don't send us away out of the country. We're having fun. We can get on all of these people, and they don't even know it. As a matter of fact, they think it's cool. They think it's fun. You see? And when they allow you to destroy your flesh, what do you think happens to the spirits?
Multiply.
They multiply. When you die, they get you killed, brother. Young brother, when they get you killed, do you know what happens to the spirit? Who knows what happened to the spirit? It leads to the next person, and it got you killed. It doesn't die. It was designated to do that thing. Look at you. And now you end up in the spirit world. You got to face a shrewd judge. I feel sorry for us. You end up in the spirit world. You got to face a shrewd judge. What did the Lord tell us about Christ? Obey his voice. He will not pardon your transgression. That's the one right there. Obey his voice. He will not pardon your transgression. When you read 1 Corinthians 10, this is the angel that was with the church in the wilderness. What does it say in the law? Obey his voice. He would not pardon. Let's get it so you can see it. I'm not making it up. Was it Exodus? Help me.
Uh, 23.
Yes, thank you. Exactly. Exodus 23, verse 21.
This is Exodus chapter 23 and verse 21.
Uh-huh.
Beware of him.
Beware of him. Beware of doing what? Crossing them. Making an enemy out of this person. Beware of him. Go ahead.
And obey his voice.
And obey his voice. Remember, you're not supposed to listen to the voice of strangers. It tells you in St. John 10. We went over this on the Sabbath. Go ahead.
Provoke him not.
Don't provoke them. You know how you provoke somebody? By challenging them. By doing what they tell you not to do anyway. You're tempting them. You say, oh, let me do this. I'm going to see what's going to happen. Or let me do this. Even though I might not know what happened, but I'm going to try it anyway. Or I'm not going to fear what's going to happen. We don't have fear. To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. You fear the Most High. What about God do he want you to fear? He wants you to fear his consequences. That's what he wants you to fear. He wants you to shake and quiver at what could happen. Because guess what? It can happen. The thing that you hate the most can become a reality in this lifetime for you. The very thing he could bring at a point because he know your heart from the top to the bottom, in and out. He know your tomorrow. He know your thoughts are far off. So you do not, the Bible says, work out Philippians 2 and 12, work out your salvation with fear and trembling. The Most High wants you to, while you getting yourself together, he wants you to be afraid not to do the thing that you did the last time. But you're supposed to be asking forgiveness from the former sins. I repent daily over the same things. Lord, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm scared of the Most High. I'm scared of his judgments. Don't want them to fall. I'm really trying to make it. Therefore, will I go against and repeat these things? The answer is no. I'm looking for mercy for the things that I've already acknowledged. It says he would not. Provoke him not. You're supposed to be trying to please this one. Because this one is sent on behalf of the Father. That's Christ. So we're supposed to be trying to please him. How do you please him? By making a show that the word that he sowed in us is bringing forth fruit. It's bringing forth the change in us. That's how we're going to please him, to the point where you can say, oh, I love him. Philip, like he said, Philip, an Israelite indeed. He said, oh, that's a good brother right there. Well done, my good and faithful servant. Well done. That's what you want, that pat on the back. You don't want to be living like, oh, who seeth me? Does the Lord really see me? I can get away with this. You ain't getting away with not one thing. He said, every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account of in his day. Every word. That's why we got to even police one another on the things that we say. Nah, if I see somebody saying something wrong, nah, my brother, don't say that. Say it like this. Don't think it like this. Say it like he said, oh, that's stupid. Like, no, he can give an account of that. So, nah, brother, let's not say that's stupid. Let's say simple. And what does simple mean? They give you the definition of it. It means easy. They are easy to be deceived. See, because they are easy to be deceived and they got tricked and they got undermined. They got deceived and bewitched through a spell, through these spirits that are more subtle than them. It's our job to not curse them. It's a law that tells you, don't curse the blind. Oh, they don't see certain things. Don't curse them. Don't disrespect them. But be willing to edify them. And if you can't edify them, it's out of your reach. Let me go then. Let me keep going. Let me move on to the next one. But what we don't do, we don't curse the blind. Because we have to give an account of every idle word that we speak. And we are trying to make it for real. So we're not trying to please men. We're trying to please Christ. And Christ has got this spirit in us that tells us this is how it has to be. This is how I need you to work the words that come from my Father, from his Father. He wants you to work it a certain way, not any way that you want to work it. So we got to set emotions aside, affects aside. And when we slip and fall short, which we do, we got to be like, yeah, I need help with this because I'm losing feet, I'm losing grind, I'm losing patience. You take this. I tap in and out all the time, especially in camp. I'm losing patience with somebody. They come up and they tripping and they this, and I'm like, yo, this person's playing games. My man, go ahead, man. They tripping. Just like that. That's true. Because it ain't about me. It's about the Most High in Christ. That's what it's about. That's what they got to see. And if anytime I'm finna go to the side, and I'm finna deal with somebody out of emotions because they driving me crazy, that's not Christ. That's me. And they don't ever need to see me not preaching this Bible. They have to always see Christ. Okay? So, you can't provoke them. You can't provoke them. I know this might shut a lot of things down, but it's up to you to understand it. Trying to do it will provoke them. Nobody gonna police you. Nobody gonna hold your hand. I'm through holding hands. I'm through policing. Either you're gonna get it or you're not gonna get it, or you're gonna get this hurt. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get this. Because trying to police you, trying to hold your hand, it can drive a person crazy. Read the next part.
For he will not pardon your transgression.
He ain't gonna let it go, man. He's not gonna give you a warning. He's gonna bring you to judge. He's gonna bring you to judgment. He will not pardon your transgressions. That's how we gotta look at it. Everybody understand that? How's alive? Somebody says chopping up. We don't have to go there. Somebody online other than Jay. How's alive, Sadat? All right. Loose Exodus. What is it?
No, I was reading that 22. I remember growing up, used to be like Satan to try to come in between me and you because he knows you're a protector for the person that be correcting you. To try to come in between you and your
Bind the strong man. That's right. Get your strength. You take your strength down, he can get to you. It's like you got a shield. It's chopping a little. We don't need this to chop. Okay. Nobody should have Wi-Fi on. Somebody said good, great. Okay. So pay attention. Satan will come after you by taking away your shield. Taking away your shield. Okay? If you got let's say for instance, you got a bulletproof shield in front of you, and somebody is wearing that shield out. Sooner or later, that thing gonna start cracking. That shield might be your elder. Yeah. Satan comes after me a lot. To you. To you. He'll try and point, his mistake, his fault. Oh, he put me on blast. He said this. He corrected me. He do the most. Things like that. Because I'm always saying something about something. If you do something wrong, I got to say it. I got to tell you, thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. And then sometimes it might be strong. Like the brother say, Shem, sometimes you ain't got no filter. I say, you know what, brother, you're right. I apologize. So enough of that. I'm still your shield. I'm your keeper. I'm going to help you. I'm going to be there. I'm going to show you what you need to do to get better. That's what you need. But you also need to show me, okay, well, if I make mistakes, if I have faults, this, that, and the third, so that you don't have hatred. And now Satan come up to stop me from teaching you. Because if Satan stopped me from teaching you, what's going to happen? And then you're going to go back to sin because you ain't got nobody to stop you from sinning. He already took your defense down, your security, your camera. He took that clean out of the way. See, the spirit that the Most High give to us, he give us a spirit to humble ourselves. If we're in the wrong, we're in the wrong. I can say, okay, that's wrong, brother. You're right. You're right and I'm wrong. So now let's pick up and get back in the scriptures in order and do it right. So don't let Satan do that to you. Because if he do that, you are gone. You are gone. Parents, a lot of parents get taken out of the way. Satan will take you out of the way, not because you're going into sin, but he'll have the children to hate you as a parent because you're coming out the scriptures, you're telling them this, you're telling them that, you're trying to keep them on the path, you're trying to fight them for them so that they can have, so that things can be good for them, so that the Most High don't judge them. The Bible says even the child is known by his doings, whether it be good or whether it be bad. And so if they take your security system out, which is your parent, they take your bulletproof shield and break it up, which is your parent, what you think gonna happen? All those spirits that was trying to get into you, they're gonna get to you. That's why it says to obey them to have the rule over you and submit yourselves, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you. Why is it unprofitable? Because if they're doing it with grief, sooner or later, if somebody doing something with grief, what end up happening sooner or later? They stop doing it. They stop doing it. And if they stop doing it, then nobody's correcting you. And now you're in sin. And while you're in sin, the Most High is going to judge you for everything that you do. And you're going to be like, why can't you break? Why can't catch a break? Why is it so hard? This is and the third. And then you're going to remember, it was better when that person was correcting me and I was wrong. And they was really just trying to tell me what to do and what not to do. I experience it all the time. And every person that come back, I chop it up with them. Bygones be bygones, forgive them and keep it moving. But I still come out the scriptures. But we are not to deal with each other like that because we do have emotions. You understand? You can't take people into the brink of breaking. I'm breaking you. I'm gonna break you. I'm gonna be so terrible that you're just gonna stop and you're gonna give up. That's unprofitable for you because that's exactly what's gonna happen. They will stop because you're begging for it. They will stop. The Most High will even give you over to your own ruins. So the Spirit of God that's inside of them will be like, you know what? I told them enough. They know and understand it. They're just making a choice. Been there and done that to what person did. They're just making a choice. When you realize people just making a choice, what you gonna say to them? They're gonna make the same choice that they already made. They just like hearing you talk. Now let me go deal with somebody that actually wants help. Oh, you want some help over there, brother? You for real? I'm for real. Okay. Spend my time with you. But what about me? Nothing about you. You ain't serious. You come back on your own. I'm gonna know. So we're done with Romans. Mark. More about spirits. The book of Mark, chapter 5, verse 10. So he besought him much, that he would not send them out of the country. Go ahead.
Now there were there nigh unto the mountains a great herd of swine feeding. And all the devils besought him, saying, Send us into the swine, that we may enter into them. And forthwith Yahushua gave them leave. And the unclean spirits went out and entered into the swine.
Stop. So the devils, they asked him, saying, now listen to this. Send us into the swine. I want us to settle down and look at the book. Because we have to think. A lot of times we read the Bible without thinking. We're just reading. So the devils, they asked him, so this is Mark 5:12. So all the devils besought him. So if they all besought him, he could hear all of us talking, like all of us talking at one time. He can hear all the spirits that's on this man with this idea, send us into the swine, send us into the swine. Why would they be asking to go into the swine? What is their whole, so they trying to outslick the Christ.
Oh, okay.
They trying to outslick Christ. Their first objective is what? Please say not to leave. Right, because the leaving would be sending them out into the atmosphere, away from people. Now they're looking for another host because they got to get up out the man. So the swine is right there feeding. Why the swine though? Because people are going to deal with the swine. And therefore they can do what? Pop right back into another person. This also tells you what?
It be important that you susceptible to spirits.
Okay, that's it. You eat pork, but you susceptible. You can catch spirits from eating unclean foods, right? Also, that animals can carry spirits. Yeah, animals can carry spirits. We never thought of it like that. Yeah, you can catch a demon from off a beast because the beast is a host. Now, so verse 13, send us into the swine that we may enter the verse 13.
And forthwith, Yahushua gave them leave.
So he let them go. But now, the state of the swine, they were feeding. But he didn't just let them live. You understand? Read.
And the unclean spirits went out and entered into the swine. And the herd ran violently down a steep place into the sea.
Whoa. Let's examine it. Have you ever had a pain so excruciating that somebody else don't know how it feel? And you was like, if you knew how this feel, you would go crazy, right? The swine was normal and was feeding, right? What happened when the spirits went into the swine? They went crazy. The swines couldn't handle that. We walking around controlling demons, trying to, make them look orderly. But if you put them in something, let's just say civilized. The swine was civilized because the swine was doing what swine do. Wallow in poop and feed, right? But when they got something that this man was just walking around with on a daily basis, like it ain't no thing, what happened to that swine?
They hit it for the clip.
Yes. Yeah, they went crazy. They couldn't take it. That's what's bottled up inside of us. It would go crazy. You take these spirits up off of Israel and you put them on a horse, the horse would go crazy. He'd probably run into something and kill himself. He'd lose his mind because he's not used to that. How are we used to being demonic? That shows you that we totally out of character. We totally out of the spirit of God, the Most High. Housing and possessing spirits, and then doing what they say, and then bridling it. When you bridle something, that means you bring it into control, right? Dress it up and make it look normal. Straight spirits. We dress it up and make it look normal, but a beast can't even tame that thing and control that spirit. And we get these spirits from evildoers. And the evildoers are possessed with these spirits for disobedience. Right? Is there more?
They were about 2,000.
They were about 2,000. So, how many spirits was in that one man? 2,000. Or, yeah. Because even if there were 2,000 swine, the ones that didn't have a spirit would have kept what? Would have kept feeding. The only reason why they did it because they lost their mind. Because them spirits came in, they're like, I ain't used to this. How are we used to it? How are we used to disobedience to the point to where we make it the normal? And they were choked in the sea. And they that fed the swine fled and told it in the city and the country. And they went out to see what it was that was done. Read the next one.
And they come to Yahushua and see that he was possessed with the.
Read it again, verse 15.
Verse 15. And they come to Yahushua and see him that was possessed with the devil and had the legion.
And had the 2,000 spirits on him, 2,000 demons. Check this out. Check the next part out. Go ahead.
Sitting.
He was sitting. Go ahead.
And clothed.
And clothed. Now he got some different clothes on. Clean clothes. Go ahead.
And in his right mind.
And in his right mind. Yeah. When somebody get them spirits up off of them, they can sit like they got common sense. Now they presentable. And now they're going to be in their right mind. Go ahead.
And they were afraid. And they that saw it told them how it befell to him that was possessed with the devil, and also concerning the swine. And they began to pray him to depart out of their coast.
Why? Why they ask the guy to leave? Anybody else? A novel. Why they ask him to leave? Okay. Anybody else? That's kind of close. That's close.
Maybe because they had spirits on him and he could have been a testimony.
No, go ahead.
They see how many spirits he had, and just in case he might catch some more, they don't want to get on him.
What they don't know, they don't know how many spirits he had on him.
Right.
Let me just give us people a walk. They just didn't believe he changed.
Exactly.
They didn't believe he changed because they wanted them to remember. They know the old man. The new man, they can't see inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know. The spirit of the Most High is showing us the interior and working of the spiritual aspect of the brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't know that. They just know the physical thing. They know his deeds. Mm-hmm. And so just because that, you know, he was there and he had some clean clothes on, and in the mindset, all they could do is think of your deeds. So they didn't believe that he changed. So when you do change, people will not believe that you are a changed person. You know, they won't believe, but indeed you are, okay? And being that you are, you must remain changed, or then spirits could come back, all right? There's more.
Verse 18. And when he was come into the ship, he that had been possessed with the devil prayed him that he might be with him.
So he asked Christ to stay with him. Go ahead.
Howbeit, Yahushua suffered him not.
Right. Christ said no. You understand? He suffered because he wanted to probably continue to go with Christ everywhere. Christ didn't let everybody follow him. That's why don't be upset when brothers brothers don't follow. It's not meant. That's all right, brother. Just take what I give you through the Spirit of the Most High, and then go your way. Everybody's not meant to follow. I mean, I ain't saying follow Christ. You're supposed to follow Christ through the Spirit, but he wanted to actually follow the Messiah and be with him daily. The Lord suffered him not. He didn't suffer him that. Okay. But he said, go ahead.
But said unto him, go home to thy friends.
Go home to your friends, the ones that know you. Okay, go ahead.
And tell them how great things the Lord hath done for thee, and had compassion on thee.
All right, so those of you that have repented, now the scriptures is not promoting you to go and now you're going to try and be with those people. Because remember, he said, go home. Instead of you following me, go home. Okay, he sent them home. But when you see those people that you know, let them know the great things that the Lord have done for you. That Lord, he's talking about the Most High, and had compassion on you. So those of you that have repented, if you run into somebody that you know and you change or whatever, you're not supposed to go back to the sin that you was dealing with them. You're supposed to be like the Most High. He done this for me. He got them spirits up off of me. He had compassion upon me. He loved me. He did this and he did that. They're not supposed to seduce you and lure you back into sin and temptation. If the Most High make you clean of something, why go back and get dirty? Why go back and do the same thing that the Lord has made you clean? That's like the soul washed from his mire. Soul is talking about the pig, the swine. This pig is running around the farm. Look at this stinking self. You know he smell like poop. So you take him and you hose him off with the hose. Come here. You washing them and you spraying them down. He go shake his little pigtail and go right back and splat in it. That's what some of us do. We can't do that. You can't return back to sin 2 months later, 4 months later, 6 months later. Repentance is supposed to be a lifetime commitment. You're supposed to be dedicated. It's called eternal life. It's this lifetime. This lifestyle is eternal. It's supposed to live with you for the duration of your natural life, and you're supposed to go into immortality. Where's Christ come? You want to be found without spot, blemish, or wrinkle. You want to be blameless. You don't want the Lord to be able to blame and say, yo, I got fault with you. You were still in sin. And you're like, well, I didn't believe that it was for real. But now that I know that it's for real, I do it. Nah, he ain't going for that. Because there were people that saw the Lord and still didn't do it. The only thing he's going to go for is if you doing it now. So let's go back. Psalms 37. Psalms 37 and 2.
Psalms 37 and 2. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass.
Right. So if we go after the world, you know how grass get cut? When you cut with a lawnmower, chop it down, it's going to get cut down. Go ahead.
And wither as the green herb.
Some of the herbs. You ever seen herbs that they still green and all this and fresh like it was growing up out the ground? It's going to wither. No, all herbs dry up. Dry up and you consume them in teas and things like that. That you're going to be withered like that. And you're going to stay fresh. Go ahead.
Trust in the Lord.
Right. Trust in the Most High. What is the Most High? The Word. Trust in the Lord. Go ahead.
And do good.
And do good. Not bad. Go ahead.
So shall thou dwell in the land.
So shall you dwell in the land. Meaning above ground, on earth, and not in the pit. Go ahead.
And verily thou shalt be fed.
Right. And you're going to be fed. That means you'll be good. Meaning the stuff that you desire. A lot of you brothers and sisters, you want things. The Lord said, if you trust in him and do good, he going to feed you. He going to do you good. Go ahead.
Delight thyself also in the Lord.
What does that mean? Delight thyself in the Lord. It means to be happy with his ways. Happy with his ways. You know, one thing that people enjoy about the Most High that we all have in common, that people should not steal from us. Because remember, we're in captivity and oppressed, and the little stuff that we have, we don't want nobody taking these things from us. So we all be agreeing like, yo, it's good that, you know, thou shalt not steal. You know, you don't want nobody to take nothing from you, man. That's the worst feeling in the world for somebody that I wouldn't, you see this, that's how this is set up. I would never want somebody, I would feel violated. You come and then you remove this, I would be appalled. And you're like, this is just, it's mine. I would be appalled. I don't even want an explanation from you. I'm like, you ratchet. Straight up. Because if it was yours, I'd never take it. It said it would be just like this. Now, if I had to sit here and use it, I'd sit here and use it. But when I got up, it'll be just right there. I would even be leery and concerned about just the use of it because it belongs to somebody else. But that's me. But we all have that agreement and in common that nobody likes for their stuff to be taken and stolen, and we delight in that. The thing is, we got to delight in the whole Bible. We can't just take bits and pieces of it and delight in it, the things that fit us. Every word of the Lord is every word is good. We got to delight in all of it, even the things that correct us, because there's a purpose for it. It brings order for it. It brings order. What's the two sins that are crippling Israel as a nation? What's the two sins that is crippling Israel as a nation?
I know for you. Yeah, I said I was gonna say. I don't know the second one. Fornication gotta be one of them. Just make a single prayer household.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a domino effect.
Okay, let's see. Okay, somebody said fornication.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. How do I make that two backwards?
A Z.
No.
The other way. Go the other way.
Like two.
Yeah, rounds up. Yeah, there you go.
Like a five.
Yeah, like 5.
So, yes, idolatry is number one, worshiping other gods. Divided. The Most High, as a nation, has destroyed us up under the heavens. That is the number one thing. That's why that's the first commandment. Thou shalt have no other gods. Okay? And the second and the third one goes with it. But however, fornication and adultery. Okay, so they go hand in hand. Right?
It's ADUL.
Backwards, I guess, kind of.
Right.
Excuse.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Where's the T at?
Right there.
You.
E.
That's an R.
That's all.
You
E
are.
Y.
Right.
Oh,
You
Very
don't,
close.
you don't go. The second you don't go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it. So I gotta walk right backwards. It get kind of confusing. I would say E instead of a U.
No, it ain't even no E. It's just adultery. Or
Well,
what?
it is an E.
No, it's
right.
Yes. Yeah.
You know your word.
I'm thinking of poultry.
So, fornication and adultery is number 2. Remember, it breaks our nation down. So we're separated in division and divided because of the idolatry and false worship. But then, what does fornication do? It creates, well, Second Ezra 5. So this Friday is the day of Simon. Israel, this Friday is the day of Simon. So y'all remember that. So Second Ezra chapter 5 and verse 58. Second Ezra 5 and 8, not 58.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 5 and verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and minstrous women shall bring forth monsters.
So it's just going into how evil the world is, how wicked it is, and it tells you at the end that unclean women, they're going to bring forth monsters. Why are they unclean? Because they have just sex. Yeah. Like what we saw in the camp. Yeah, they don't care. Women twerking and all kind of stuff. The Bible says this minstrels. This women are unclean. They're not right in the mind. And they just spit them out. They get pregnant, they're gonna have it. It's like my baby. Some of them be wanting a baby. They don't have no sense of moral. They don't plan their life. They just go with love, go with the emotion. They gotta get them pregnant. 2 years later, or a year later, he ain't got time for you or whatever. He didn't really know you. Now y'all split up. And now he's gone down the road and you hate him. So you use the child against him. A lot of women, they do their first few kids like that. Use them as a weapon. We don't need them. We don't need no man. So to keep the child away from the guy. So then the child begins to hate the guy. Because the mom had already said so much negative stuff about, he don't want you no way. He don't take care of you. He ain't coming around. And he don't come around. He don't come around because when he made the decision, he was very immature. He was immature when he made it. So he don't have a bond with the child. He don't have a bond with you. You're not with the child. You can pretend all you want to, but I got children, I know. But if you're not in that child's life constantly, then you ain't really no bond there. You be distant. Child grows up without the father. Child grows up without the father. He grows out. He does whatever he wants to do. He gets involved in getting high. He gets involved probably in gangs, running with a crew. If not a gang, he gets tough. He turns into a murderer, a killer, a drug dealer, and it's rampant. It's like every house on every street in every city. Truth is fled. Nobody's fighting. Spoke to a guy today. He said, well, I told my daughter that when she's a senior in high school, I talked to her about dating boys. Can't date. Ain't no dating. The child know about a boyfriend. It's fornication. The guy's gonna be gone in a few years. And I left her in your house with a baby pushing a stroller. He's gonna do the same thing across town. She's gonna hate him. Child gonna grow up. Women, they don't have the endurance as men do. I know there are strong sisters, and I'm pro sisters and pro brothers. But there has been a lot of cases to where women they just stop it for a second. They just have done all that they can do and they can't do no more, and they're not men. So they don't have that authoritative figure in them, and they don't have that voice in them. They don't have that authority in them. You know, the reason why children love women so much, mama so much, because mama, at the end of the day, you're always gonna be mama's baby. She's gonna let you do what you do, and you can get over on mama and she still love you. Daddy ain't like that. Daddy gonna wanna bust your head, bust your butt, and daddy like, you ain't getting over on me, boy. Daddy is a man. So as you get older, he always still over you. He's still always over you. That's daddy. He always over. Your mama ain't standing up to you. Like, there are some women that's like that, but I'm speaking for the majority. A lot of mothers, you can run right over her. You're not supposed to, because the Most High can strike you down. You can lose your life. You curse. The Bible says if you disrespect your mother, you are cursed. Just like that, because he already know. You took advantage of a situation, it's a wrap. Especially if it's unrepentant. Now, you do a lot of things in ignorance, that's one thing, but once you know and you still rocking like that and you don't care, it's over for you. So that destroyed us. Those 2 commandments, breaking them, the nation is not, you're not seen as a holy nation, a righteous nation. All we see is monsters. They call us predators and super predators, call our young men, to the point to where, the stigma is people are scared of us. I know the media does that, and they don't show a lot of strong men. I understand they don't show a lot of strong men, a lot of responsible brothers. Like all you brothers in here, you are some strong brothers, man. You got strong black men up in here who got their head on right. They don't show that. They show us what they want to see. But the truth is, the majority of our people, they do have that bad spirit of doing monstrous things. Self-genocide, black on black crime. We came up with a name for it. And it's bad. Not the only, but we degrade our women, treat them like whores, talk to them bad, treat them bad. Every nation in the world take our woman. And we sit back and let them. And their excuse is, y'all treat us like shit, y'all don't want us, and y'all ain't doing nothing for y'all self to make us want to be with y'all. We lazy, smoke dope, pants sagging, robbing and stealing from each other. And the only one, so they not ashamed to be whores. They're not ashamed because men like whores. When the Bible says a whore should be accounted as spittle and a shameless dog. So if the men stood up and was like, "This worthless to me," didn't pay no attention, you're shameless, get yourself together, and rejected her, they wouldn't do it. But men, they glory in that, and they get them a monster. And that's what we look for. That's what we look like. We look like a nation with all the religions in us, and a nation full of fornicators and adulterers. All we do is chase each other. We don't even have no sight of the rest of the commandments. What we serve, what we believe in, what kind of church we go to, and who our woman is, or who your man is. That's it. You have no other morals. What you believe in religiously, and who is your man, who's your woman. That's destroying us. So we gotta return, and because the Most High is dealing with us. He's judging us. So let's go back to Psalms 37 and verse 5.
This is Psalm chapter 37 and 5. Commit thy way unto the Lord, and trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday.
You can start the communion. Go ahead.
Rest in the Lord.
Right. Stop in his truth. Rest in the Lord. Go ahead.
And wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospered in his way.
Fret not thyself because of him who prospered in his way. Right. Oh, he's got this scheme going on. He got this going on. Get rich scheme, whatever it might be. What the scriptures say. Don't be worried about what this guy or this woman. You sisters in here. Y'all know certain sisters, y'all see them in the world and they have it going on and say, oh, this woman got this going on. It might be makeup, jewelry, clothing, food. Some of them might be business minded, got a little business going on, this, this, and the third. You know, for you sisters, y'all know people like that. See? But it says, don't worry about them. Fret not thyself because of him who prospered in his way. Well, he got this going on. He's got the car lot going on. He come up, yo, yeah, I got 3 trucks now. Guy got tow trucks. I got trucks now. He's prospering in his way, but what don't he have, Christ? You don't have this truth. Ask him how his family is. Oh, I'm by myself now, man. You know, the woman, you might have known this woman. Any of y'all ever witnessed that? Can you testify to that? Like you know somebody that's out there and they do well, and then you know that they with somebody else that you know them both, and you ask them how that person is doing, but and the person they gone, they no longer with them. You ever seen that, notice that? You're like, what happened? See, so they didn't have that. So what is more important, the prosperity in the way or the family? Right, the family is more important. Yeah, the family was more important, but he lost that, or she lost that. She lost the guy, or he lost the woman. Like, yo, that was your woman. What happened with that? I ask that question all the time. I see these jakes that I know. They tell me, oh, I moved on this. I'm like, yo, man, I don't understand that. What are you talking about? Sometimes I might have seen them raise a baby. I'm like, where is Erica? You know, speaking a name. She on the live. Here I am. I'm like, no, not you. Like, yo, brother, where's this woman at? Oh man, we just saw eye to eye. You prosperous in a way, but you didn't have what it takes to really hold life down, which is your family. A lot of times these women, they be down with these guys when they ain't have nothing. Now they get something, and now they don't have no use for the woman no more. They not interested. Woman doesn't turn them on. That's because they start window shopping and they start looking into the world, looking into the wickedness, a whorish nation. They start looking through the eyes of a fornicator or an adulterer. They go a whore, lusting. And I'm trying to compare this to your woman. No brother never do that, man. That's why I be telling y'all, stay off the internet, stay off people's profiles, gazing in their picture, trolling, and I want this woman and I want that woman. That's gonna lead you astray, man. That'll make your marriage go cold. Scriptures talk about friends. You'll never trade in the old one for something new. I can tell you, but I can't do it for you. You understand? Because of the man. So this is Psalms 37:7. Because of the man who bringeth the wicked devices to pass. So he came up on the scheme. You flatten yourself. I just wanted to go back and get that because we be seeing the prosperity of the world, and we like, I want to be down with that. You think that that's for you to do? It's supposed to be in this truth. This is for me to do. Like, wait a second. You looking at them and they getting they lick and they doing this and they doing that, and you try to do the same thing. No, they on a course set to do what they're gonna do. You gotta learn this truth. You gotta, cause you building a spiritual house that when storms hit it, it ain't gonna fall. And you got to get this first before you get that. You don't just come up in the world and now let me go get this money. Let me chase this. Let me chase that. And you ain't got the foundation, which is how to live on the earth yet. You ain't even got to worry about money. The Most High knows how to put everything together. You just need to, as a woman, how can you be a woman of the Lord? As a man, how can I be a man of the Lord? That's why the Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and everything else going to follow. Trust in the Most High. It's going to happen. Okay? So, 37:8.
Cease from anger.
Right. Cease from anger. See, humble yourself. Cease from anger. Losing your temper, losing your patience. Stop doing that. Go ahead.
And forsake wrath.
Right. Forsake fighting. The thought of fighting. I was going to get with, Shalom. I was going to get with him. I almost popped off. I heard some of that. Some of you be like, I almost popped off. I'm like, what are you talking about? Was you finna open up some scriptures? What are you talking about? I almost popped off. What are you talking about? You open up the scriptures. All right, go ahead.
Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil.
Don't worry yourself in any way. Go ahead.
For evildoers shall be cut off.
Right, plain and simple. The ones that's breaking the laws of the Most High, they're going to be cut off. Go ahead.
But those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth.
Those that wait upon the Lord shall inherit the earth. How are you waiting upon the Lord? I'm doing right regardless on a daily basis, patiently waiting for the Most High to bless me. That's the mindset that you got to have. Don't compare yourself to somebody else. The Most High reward people according to his righteousness that they deserve. And they might deserve something before you deserve something. Before honor come humility. So before you get honored, you must humble yourself. It doesn't work in reverse. Honor me and then I'll humble myself. You're going to die first. That's what's going to happen. You're going to end up in the spirit world. And the Lord he's gonna be like, I cannot believe how I got hurt. They was right the whole time. Lord, I know that you can do anything. Send me back so I can get it right. That's never gonna happen. Too many people has asked. It's never gonna happen. It's not wrote like that. What is written is what's upright. Okay? Evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait shall inherit. Verse 10.
For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be.
They ain't gonna be at all. So anybody that's going against the scriptures, there ain't gonna be no existence, not in Israel. Go ahead.
Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall be not, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the
The
earth,
submissive and the obedient. That's what meek means, to be obedient. Go ahead.
and shall diligent, I'm
Delight.
sorry, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace.
Right. The abundance of peace, meaning you're going to enjoy that spirit, that paradise vibration that the Most High is going to give to us. It's perfect harmony, peace. It ain't no wickedness. It ain't no, you know how we get tired, sick and tired of neighbors. They do crazy stuff. That logic is going to be gone. It ain't going to be none of that. Everybody going to be knowing what to do. Go ahead.
The wicked plotted against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow.
So we don't, and a lot of times we don't understand that the word is against us while you're trying to be with them. Yeah, they gritting their teeth. They angry with you because they think you're soft. They think you're weak. You're already a prey. They'll take you for a prey. You the one that walks into a situation that you, just like walking into a lion's den. You're a sheep. You walking into the lion's den or the den of wolves. You're not even supposed to be there. You wandereth out of the way of understanding. You ain't supposed to be there. So yeah, you're gonna get gnashed against. You're gonna get plotted against. Some of you go there, get robbed. You get drunk on purpose. You get roofied. You get date raped. You get stolen from. You get exploited. They take your possessions. You loan the stuff out with lies. On me, I'm gonna get back on my baby, on my mama, on God. And they extort, they get over on you. They plot against you. The wicked have drawn out the sword. They come, they at you. If you go for them, they gonna get you. There's no way you supposed to even be around them. Why? When all comes from it is pain and suffering. They got a sword, man. The Bible says every brother's supplanted. Go ahead.
And have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay.
And to slay, that means to kill. Go ahead.
Such as be of upright conversation.
So you might have an upright conversation. You're in the wrong place. They don't want to hear that. This is Psalms 37 and 14. Read that again. Are you saying this right here? Yeah. Read that again.
The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor.
So this is people in the truth because they went around them. The poor, go ahead.
And needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation.
Right. So you might be trying to have an upright conversation. You trying to be in the midst of them. You hurt yourself by even being there with them. It never work out. That's why. And I as many as y'all that have known me, when have you ever known for me to fret after the wicked or run with the wicked? I'm trying to pass somebody over on you, talking about this the homeboy. Out of all your life and you've been around me, this is the homeboy. This my partner, and I'm with this person daily. Somebody come around me, they finna help do some type of work. This is the old stuff, or this is the new stuff?
Yeah, that's the next part.
This right here? You can't. Who don't understand what's being said? Going around them, you're gonna hurt yourself. Sham, you mean tell me leave them all alone? Yeah, leave them all alone. Because you don't know they got it in for you. When they hurt you, you won't even see it coming. You won't even see it coming. Anybody in here ever been set up by somebody in the world to where you know that, okay, man, this person set me up?
Yeah.
More than once.
Okay. So with that being said, you should know and understand these scriptures. You thought that these people were your friends. We thought, because this happened to me.
Right.
We thought that these people were our friends. We thought that we could trust these people. They look to us to see evil upon us. Verse 15.
Their sword shall enter into thine own heart, and
Into their own heart.
and their bows shall be broken. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked.
Right. He's still exhorting us to leave him alone. Yeah, I know that. I be having a little and trying to be righteous. Somebody pull up, give you an example. You see old boy pull up in the what's your name? In the Mercedes, in the camp. Y'all saw it? No, yeah, I know him. Yeah, I know him. You know, personal guy, I know from the streets and everything, right? From the world. He come up to show me how he's got his MBA and his company went union and he's got employees and everything. He said, "Yeah, I just come to tell you, man. I'm doing okay. I'm still out here, T. I'm doing okay, man. We got carpenters and everything, man. We doing concrete and everything, man. This system, contracts and everything." I said, "Okay, that's good. When you see me, I'm still out here too. Y'all by Shimmy, I was shy." So a little that a righteous man have is better than the riches of many wicked. Don't let money, people's lifestyle, the way they present themselves, don't let that deceive you into leaving the righteousness of the Most High that's supposed to take you forever. All right. So we can stop it right there. Let's stop it right there.
How you know what to go after and what not to?
Because it's wrote in the scriptures. Go after the commandments. That's priority. Don't do nothing else but go after the commandments. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness. That's it. Everything else gonna come. Everything else gonna come. When you go to work, you just go to work and come on his righteousness. His righteousness. Go to work on his righteousness. His righteousness. He'll promote you when he get ready. Now the job come along. As long as you can serve the Most High, you don't ever want to do something that's gonna take you out of the worship of the Father. You can't make class. You're working on the Sabbath. Nah, none of that. Satan got some gifts too. So if you trying to deal with the Most High, you got to be ready to make sure that, okay, you can serve the Most High too. You can't serve the Most High if you can't make it to class. I mean, you can serve the Most High, but learning, this is a place of learning. So you want to learn, understand? And if you don't have a strong, nobody can do it by themselves. So, I'm not saying that it's the four walls, but it's the fellowship of the Spirit. It's the members that make up the body of Christ, and the iron sharpen the iron, and the dwelling of the spirits together, the dwelling of the Most High Christ with the body. You want to be present, for that, and then still go to work. But if you like when you read Ecclesiastes 38, you always at work. You ain't gonna never be wise. You ain't gonna never learn. That's a lot of people's downfall. They always working, and they can't come to the class because they got a job. The job, they always, how it is. My job, it keeps me from this. Oh, okay, brother. All right. They maintaining the state of the world, but they ain't maintaining the spirit, and therefore the house out of order. The daughter out of order, the son out of order, and you out of order. Knowing you Israel, that's not enough. The Most High requires us to walk in his ways. So walking in his ways, you come to learn how to walk, how to, deal. Just like right now, we should have learned a lot how to deal and how to walk in his ways, how to respond to certain things, how to ignore the world, how not to become an enemy of the Most High, not how to provoke, how not to provoke Christ, the Most High, or the Most High to jealousy, how not to fret evildoers, things like that. That's learning how to walk. What if you was at work right now? You missed a class and you came home, you can never get to the class. All this information would have just went right over your head. And therefore, you're going to be a victim of idolatry, fornication, and adultery.
Mm.
And you're going to be a part of the problem and not part of the solution. And therefore, the Most High is going to judge you for the stuff that you do. Go ahead.
It's this junior in high school at my group home, and he came and he started like his own business and did all type of stuff. And I had caught a emotional breakdown early because I was jealous at what he was doing, but I needed this because I be tripping over that money and stuff. I'm ambitious, but I gotta just let the course happen.
Yeah. And what you got to understand is Satan could put that right there to break you because he see that you're trying to bustle, you trying to turn your way around. Satan is subtle, man. And his spirit is very, very wise to do evil. And Satan don't care. He'll sacrifice you, man. Satan don't care. He'll destroy you. Satan don't care. And he'll have permission to do it if you listen to him. Satan got all the world riches. And he can give it to whoever he want to give it to. So you don't know that person's their mind state. You don't know what they're doing or what they're going through. All you see is they put together a game plan and it worked for them. They're not serving the Most High. Do you know that there are people that are out here that are building up wealth and riches that's gonna die before they even get to enjoy it?
Right.
And you, say for instance, if you spend your time jealous of them and trying to chase up after them and lead the scriptures, you just got seduced away. When they hold, you're fighting a fixed fight. Y'all know what a fixed fight is, right?
Already said.
It's already set.
Like a movie script.
Like a movie. It's already scripted. Like, remember we was watching the movie the other day, just last night, and that one character, after somebody broke into the house and he got shot right into the head.
Yeah.
We didn't want that to happen, did we?
Nah.
Not him. He was cool. He was just trying to protect his sister and everything. And he got shot right in the middle of the forehead. That's the script. We can't change that. So that dude was gonna do what he's gonna do regardless. That's the script. If he wasn't there, he got a script to do it. You gotta look at it like that. Everybody has. The more you apply, the more you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn the understanding of the scriptures, the operation of the Most High. When David said, this is the last one, and that's it. Get that about his thought. Psalms 139. I really want us to think about this as we get this last precept before Matthew chapter 26. And read it slow. Check this out. Read that.
Sorry, what?
Psalms 139 and verse 1 and 2.
Psalm chapter 139 and verse 1. O Lord, thou hast searched me.
Thou hast searched me. And the Most High goes through our mind. Go ahead.
And known me.
And you have also known me. So far, David only knows his past. I tell us all the time that hindsight is 20/20. We only know what's behind. We don't know what's in front. Go ahead.
Thou knowest my down sitting.
He know where I sit down. Go ahead.
And mine uprising.
He know where I got up from. So that's God, the Lord, the Most High. He knows where you've been. He know when you sat down. He know when you sat up. Here's the point. Here. Go ahead. Slow it.
Thou understandest
You understand. Go ahead.
my thought afar off.
He understands my thought afar off. Now, what does that mean? He knows what I am going to think way out there. Like a week from now, he knows how you're going to think. A year from now, he knows how you're going to think. He knows how you're going to respond. How does the Lord know that? Because it's already fixed.
That's why He gonna take us through there when we mess up in our past.
Say, okay, understand it again?
Nah, go ahead.
Right. No, I'm just trying to understand. But what you're saying, I'm trying to get you to understand that the Most High knows this thing is already in the books. You're just living it. You living it. It's already wrote. It's in front of you. Y'all are in these pages, but you can't see them. You can't see yourself. You don't understand yourself because it might not be mentioning you by name. It doesn't say St. Louis, Missouri. It says the daughter of Babylon. It might not say that this brother Y had this unlawful relationship with this brother Tina. It says fornication. But we're already in the books. This is wrote already. Afar off. There's nothing else after the end. And then once the other side of the kingdom begin, then it's going to be said, and there are going to be writings, and then it starts over. But until then, we ain't finished this earth. It's already wrote about us, just like it was wrote about Christ before he came. When he said, search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, for they are they which testify of me. And people find it hard to find Christ in the Old Testament. But it was wrote about him the whole time, giving descriptions and brief things here and there, to where we have to go in and we have to search out to say, this is talking about Christ. Just like we went into Exodus 23 earlier. This is talking about Christ. Go to another one and go to another and go to another. And this is talking about Christ. See? So it's the same thing with us. So by the Most High knowing our thoughts are far off, we don't have to worry about the things that make us jealous. We can leave that alone. The Most High knows what we want before we ask. He knows how to give us the things that our heart desire. First, we got to please him. First, we got to be worthy of that blessing. Because when you read Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 15, it tells us how to get blessed. Keep the commandments. Most High will give all those things to us. So that's it. Any questions? I would love to have finished this chapter. Maybe we'll get to it on Thursday. Just mark up what we left. All right, Matthew chapter 26. Okay, Matthew 26:6. Now, when Yahushua, whom the word calls Jesus, was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Yahushua, whom the word calls Jesus, understood it, he said unto them, Watch over ye the woman, for she have right to get work upon me, for ye are the poor always with you, but me you have not always. When that shall pour this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman have done be told for a memorial of her. So all praises to the Most High for giving his sister the spirit to come forth and keep the commandments and give Christ some comfort for his burial and set a beautiful example. So all praises to the Most High. All right, now the communion of Christ, as Christ said to do it often. So every time we come together, we definitely understand, remember the Lord, praying that the Lord always remember us. All right, so 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verses 23. As far as receipt of the Lord, that which also I delivered unto you, that Hamashiach, meaning the Messiah, Yahweh, whom the world calls Jesus, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread. And when they had given thanks, he brake it and said, take, eat, this is my body, which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. After the same manner also, he took the cup when he had supped, saying, this cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do show the Lord's death till he come. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord. But let a man examine himself, so let him eat of their bread and drink of their cup. He that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body. For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep. For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world. Most high in the name of Christ, thank you for the food and drink. Amen.
Amen.
This is body which is broken for you. You know, we break bread live. There's brothers and sisters that are out there in fellowship, want to do the communion. We invite all brothers and sisters that are in the classes at the end of the class on Tuesday and Thursday. If you want to break bread with us, just have the unleavened bread. We use a Triscuit and wine. Okay? This is his blood. Hey, get those batteries out that microphone, out those mics. I'm going to take them home and charge them. See if they charge. So that's it, right? Okay, Israel.
If every man was just like me, what kind of sanctuary would this be?
Let's pray Matthew 6 and 9. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. In Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
The laborers prayer, Luke 10 and 2. Therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the labors are few. Pray therefore the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. Bless you, Most High, King of heaven and earth, and all things, Most High, in the name of the Christ. Send more disciples and teachers to your harvest, to gather your people Israel, and send counsel behind your laws, to stand before thy people Israel. Give to us strength to break down our lives with thy word. In Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
The blessing of Israel, Numbers chapter 6 and 24. Children of Israel, the Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. The Lord let the best countenance upon and give thee peace. In Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
And children of Israel, bless one another.
Most High, in the name of Christ, bless you all.
Do anybody know who these belong to? Anybody found some fruities in here?
No, Jazz.
Everybody
I think so. She the only person who said.
Shalom, Israelites.
Amen.
Christ bless.
Yeah, it's morning.
I don't know what Tony said. Stranger danger, yeah, I see, brother. Child, you hold up. You gonna ride back with me? All right, it's yours. Shalom.
Yeah, man, you gotta start tomorrow early. One of them bad. You know, I went to second exercise today.